Welcome to another episode of TeeVo and the Beard.
You can't see us, but we're eating right now.
That's true.
What are you eating, the Beard?
I am eating leftover Little Caesars pizza.
And is the vegetable one also Little Caesars?
It is.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. You only have one, so...
Well, yeah, because we got vegetable for me and Mrs. Beard, and we got cheese for Little Beard. Little Beard ate one slice of pizza last night.
Oh, that's why you have...
So
You have 4 cheese pizzas and 1 vegetable.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because she did not eat near as much as she normally eats, because she normally loves Little Caesars cheese pizza. $5, cheap, easy.
And that's
sort of
that's probably best for you as a parent.
It is. This is the first time she's only eaten one slice, so...
Maybe it's because she wasn't hungry or she just didn't like it anymore. Because that changes. I
It's
used
true.
to love Pizza Hut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't anymore.
That's what I'm worried. I'm hoping she just wasn't that hungry last night.
Okay. So you're going to try again at a later date?
Yes,
Okay.
for sure.
Good. I'm having a donut.
Yes.
But it is a store-bought donut, so not the Dunkin's or Krispy Kreme's.
Mm-mm.
So it's still good.
I'm guessing it's from Kroger.
It's still good.
Yeah.
It's still good. But today we're not here to talk about food.
No.
We're here to talk about TV shows.
Mhm.
Or at least in my case, TV show.
Yeah. S.H.I.E.L.D. is back.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is back. And that's the most important thing in the world right now.
Yep.
But before that, I did have a icebreaker, or maybe not an icebreaker, just a topic to talk about.
Okay.
So I was in the car listening to a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Janet Varney. She's interviewing Zelda Williams,
Okay.
daughter of the late Robin Williams.
Mhm.
And then I thought back to Anna Faris's podcast, say maybe a month ago,
Mhm.
around a month ago in that time range. She had Colin Hanks on. For those who
Son
know
of Colin Hanks.
Colin Hanks.
Mhm.
And so far with Zelda Williams, and in the entirety of the Colin Hanks, not one mention of their famous dads.
Interesting.
And, well, that is interesting because, you know, I mean, I think with anybody, you know, if you're talking to them, they expect, oh, you're talking to me. You
Right.
want to talk to about my dad or that effect. You could, you know, at least in one of their cases.
I was about to say, Tom Hanks is easier to talk to than
Yeah.
Robin Williams.
But it is that kind of maybe identity thing I don't really identify with. But what do you think? Like, just because you have a Colin Hanks or a Patrick Schwarzenegger, would you want to talk about their dad, or do you want to talk to them?
I would want to talk about how having a famous parent has influenced their life choices.
Mhm.
Because there are famous people who have children who never go into show business. So it's not just because your dad or your mom is an actor or actress. Automatically means this is where your career is going. So yeah, I mean, I would do it to that aspect, but I wouldn't do it like, well, what kind of projects is your dad working on? Or, I would bring up like maybe one or two smaller questions, like how do they influence you, and maybe what's one of the standout moments in your life growing up with Robin Williams as your dad? What's something that really stands out that some people wouldn't know?
Well, the thing, it's just mainly with the Colin Hanks was like, wow, you're barely, like, he mentioned once, not even by name. I think they were talking about early auditioning processes and, going into reads, and, people kind of thought, oh, and as he phrased it, he's like, people will see me and they see that I looked like somebody.
Right.
It was like, I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
But you wouldn't think it's a rude thing to bring up their parents. But
As long as it was done right. I mean, you don't want to sit there. Like, if I'm talking to Jeff Bridges, I'm not going to be like, tell me the life and times of Lloyd, your dad.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, tell me about...
well, in your case, like, what if you are talking to the child of Jeff Bridges? Are you just going to talk?
No, that's different. Yeah,
That's different?
That would. Yeah, I would be like, tell me all about your dad. I don't care if you're a gajillionaire right now and, have cured cancer. Let me know about how your dad was when you were growing up.
You don't have questions for me? Only if they relate to Jeff Bridges.
Right, yeah.
Like, if Jeff Bridges is in the story of this, you can tell us.
Yeah, even if he's just a cameo in it, you can tell me that story.
But if it doesn't, I'm going to edit it out.
Right, yeah. But yeah, just like as a general thing, I mean, I don't think it's bad to bring up the parents at all, because, I mean, it's kind of the elephant in the room thing, but you don't want to concentrate.
Well, because I'm not someone who has, like, a famous parent, or
Right.
I don't even know anyone with a famous parent. So I can't imagine what it'd be like maybe not in a negative way, but
Mhm.
you know, like how many people are talking to these people because
Yeah.
of their famous parent?
Yeah.
It's like I'm sure they have some kind of weird psychological thing. It's like, oh, wait, do you really want to know about me, or do you want to know about me in relation to Tom,
Right.
like Tom Hanks?
Yeah. But yeah, with Colin Hanks, it would be like, how has your dad inspired you to go in? Because obviously he did inspire him to go into the acting world. With Zelda, I would not go, how did the death of your dad affect your life? I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that. And, I'm pretty sure all her feelings about that have been made in various writings. So it's like, don't ask her because, like, it's already there. And plus, you can just probably read about anybody who had a parent die that tragically. I'm sure it's not, that much different. And but I'm only, like, say 30 minutes in, so she might mention her dad. Just so far, there's no mention. But, with the Colin Hanks one, I was just like, oh, okay, not even a story. But, okay, sure. Hey, the guy is almost a 40-year-old man. It's like, and he has been acting for a long time as well. Yeah. So it's like, I am my own person.
That is a little different then, too, where if you're talking to somebody who is 18, 20 years old, just starting out.
Yeah.
Then, you might concentrate more on the parents.
Yeah, but if they're as old as, like, like a Jeff Bridges or a Colin Hanks or even a Charlie Sheen, it's like, I have my own.
Yeah, with Charlie Sheen, I wouldn't even think to ask about
Martin Sheen.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, you're related.
Oh, yeah. How about this? Would you ask Emilio about Martin Sheen?
Only because I haven't seen Emilio in anything recently, so just to have filler in the conversation. Be like, how's your dad and your brother doing?
I asked because because I don't want to. I asked because I don't want to ask. What are you doing? Right. What are you doing with life?
Yeah, right. So,
but that was just my curious question riding into the car on the way here. So just thought get opinion on that.
Yeah, I think some interviewers overemphasize the parents. Some seem to avoid it at all costs.
Overemphasize the avoiding.
Right. I think if you can fit it in there naturally, great. Like you said, you're only halfway through the Zelda one. It could come up. It could not. And I've listened to, that podcast before. It is more conversational than something like, Mark Maron or something that is interview-ish, where it seems like there's more written questions.
Right.
So, yeah. So as long as it's done naturally and, and they don't say, well, now, how did the death of your dad affect you? Well, it sucked.
Well, I'm not expecting Janet to ask that question. I just want to be like, hey, do you have, like, literally something? Like, hey, tell us something your dad did. But, if it doesn't come up, I'm not going to be upset. It's just, I would just find it weird because, her dad's a great Robin Williams. Yeah. Come on. We don't have any story we want to share.
At least be like, okay, are you as obsessed with the Zelda video game franchise, as your dad was?
Yeah. So
are you going to name your kid Link?
Oh my goodness. That would be awesome.
Just keep the tradition going there.
Oh, well, I feel bad for the grandchild to be named Ganondorf.
That's true. Yeah, it's like we're running out of names.
We're running out of normal names, so I guess, you drew the...
2 generations in, already out of names.
You got Ganondorf.
Yep.
It's up to you if you want to make it hyphenated or what.
Yeah.
Your choice.
Right, yeah.
But speaking on podcasts, last thing about podcasts, I do want to spotlight one new one I started listening to.
Okay.
Very similar format to the ones I usually listen to anyway. But it's Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert.
Okay.
He just started, this may be his 5th episode this week. Very, very conversational. Very much my taste.
Okay.
Well, and I was very quick to listen to it because I've listened to Dax on a Ferris, listened to Dax on Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. And I love those episodes because I like the way Dax talks. Yeah. He's definitely one of those like actors or personalities that I could just listen to talk for probably 8 hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There are other people like that, but I listened to those episodes like, man, I like the way you think. I like the way you tell stories. I like your opinions. Do I agree with some? No, but I just like the way you present them. So when he said, hey, I have a podcast. Oh, fantastic. Well, I'm yours, so just want to...
Now, what do you think about the abundance of famous people getting into the podcast game? Because it is the main ones that you mentioned.
It is, definitely. I think I'm gonna have to bring it back to when I saw Kevin Smith do a live podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like he encourages everybody, not just name people, but like anybody to start one, like we are right now.
Right.
And he says, "Why not?" So for people of noted varieties, why not as well?
Mm-hmm.
If you have an audience, if there's some people who like it, because I've listened to some who I listen to their names, and I guess they don't have that big of an audience, and they've either taken long hiatuses or they quit, and that's that.
I've got a few of those still on my queue that I'm waiting to see.
Same here. Come back. I mean, I don't unsubscribe. I'm
right.
Just I just keep noticing last upload July 2016. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So but there is an audience, I believe. So I mean, if they have their audience, I don't see why they shouldn't do it.
Do you tend to find yourself going more towards the ones hosted by famous
totally,
people?
Totally.
That's because I tend to do the opposite.
Oh, that's a given. Mm-hmm. But even then, like Dax had Pete Wentz on this week. I don't care anything about Pete Wentz, so I'm not listening to that.
Right.
So it's I like these people, but I guess I like them enough to want to be interested in the show. Mm-hmm. But you need to have someone else
right,
that I want to hear from.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about the medium of podcasts is the fact that you can pick and choose
very much
episodes, and if they're interviewing somebody you like, you listen. If not, you don't download it and you just wait till the next episode.
I mean, and I feel bad a little bit because of Jenna Barney's podcast. She gets a lot of people I just don't know, so I don't know if I want to be invested in listening to someone I may never come across in media. Mm-hmm. So majority of her episodes I don't listen to just because I honestly do not know who this person is. And
right.
Based on descriptions, I don't know if I will, so sorry. But then there's that.
Yeah.
So I notice on your sheet you have other shows you want to talk about, or let's say you wrote them down.
I wrote them down, yeah. Because
we're going to talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. That's just that.
Right. We like Black Lightning.
We do.
But obviously I don't like it enough to actually keep up on when there's new episodes.
Yeah.
So I've not watched this episode yet, so I have zero opinion on it.
Well, the only thing I will say that's important about this episode. So you remember in the first episode, the oldest daughter is giving this narration. Let me tell you the story of Black Lightning.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, wonderful. She knows about Black Lightning. I don't know why, because there have been episodes where Black Lightning has shown up and she has shown very little knowledge of that.
Right.
But in my head, because of that opening narration, I thought, oh, well, oldest daughter knows her dad's black fighting.
It would make sense. Yeah.
Fantastic. And we also know she has started to become a superhero herself.
Right.
Well, in the climax of this episode, so like I said, like the show so far, but I had a lot to do that night, so I was heavily multitasking up until the very end. That's when I definitely paid attention because mother is in trouble, daughter comes to rescue her. Late to the show to rescue mother is Black Lightning, and they have a confrontation.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, oh, she sees Black Lightning, great. And he sees, well, you could see where he came on because he attacked first.
Yeah.
Stranger, mother tied up. Oh, obviously, bad guy.
Right. Yeah.
And he attacks her, but you would think, hey, Dad, don't attack me.
Right. Yeah.
But she attacks back.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, what? And then as they start fighting each other, it's like, I don't think. Well, obviously you don't know that's your daughter. Fine.
Right.
But I don't think you know that is your father.
So it's a confused identity.
Confused identity at the end. He manages to knock her out, and she wakes up at home with safe mother and dad without mask on, but still in Black Lightning clothes. So
awkward.
So now she knows. But it was still a good sequence. Just in my head, I thought, oh, I thought you knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should make for a great episode next week.
Right. So we also had the return of iZombie,
which I conflicted on because I was interested in watching the night it aired.
Right.
But then I recalled all our iZombie posts last year.
Yeah.
And I really do believe I will enjoy it that much better if I don't have to wait.
And I hate to tell you, but you're probably right.
And that's sad because you told me that before we started recording. And you would think the first episode of each season so far has been killer.
Right.
You know, not to make a pun of the show, but it has been killer. Last year's, you remember, it was like we're hitting the ground running.
Yeah, like the first 2 episodes.
This is awesome, and maybe that's why the dropout was so much harder because it didn't work.
Yeah, this episode was just like, okay, this is the new Seattle. It's surrounded by a wall. It's full of zombies and some humans. We got to try to keep people safe. But we also want to keep the zombies safe. But being that, as any superhero show, they want to make a slight hit at the government. They're like, the government's lying to you about how they're keeping you safe. And yeah, it was just like, it was a very political episode. It was a political episode / a sports episode because she ate the brain of a jock. I mean, not a jock, but a sports fan. And
yeah, it could be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And just there was nothing that blew me away about it. Mrs. Beard, who has seen the first 3 seasons, I forgot to tell her that I watched this episode and that, you know, she should watch it because if she watches it now, great. If she waits till it comes on Netflix, probably better.
Well, you know, it's just what we said. Like, I mean, beyond the first 2 episodes, the strongest of the show. Mm-hmm. One of the strongest of the show so far. It's just, you know, you're waiting a week. They tease something a little bit to keep you occupied,
right?
To wait for next week. But then the whole plot of the next week is like, what did I need to know about this?
Right. Yeah.
So maybe if I'm not waiting 7 days and just watching a 4-hour, 5-hour, 13-hour blocks, I could just chalk it up. Oh, well, that was just that hour.
I kind of wish this season was released straight to Netflix. Just go ahead and release it all as one group of 13.
And I really...
Because it was not a bad episode.
Well, you know, like, that was the thing about last season. Because, well, hasn't treaded into some territories of some shows. Mm-hmm. We won't name those. But, you know, they
weren't... by them. I couldn't help it.
Well, you know, they weren't bad episodes. It's just... You know, that's what you made your audience wait for. That was the thing. It's like, they were not bad episodes, but they did not help me in any way.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. I will wait for Netflix, and I'm almost certain it will be a much better viewing experience.
Yes.
And I didn't want to troll Rahul Kohli, but he did post something to the effect of this maybe last year, you know, thanking the audience for continuing to support the show because they were shooting. I think they were beginning shooting in season 4. You know, and of course, without fan support, there is no season 4. But he did want to make a point, like, please, you know, we really thank you for watching it on Netflix, but please watch it, you know, live if you can or on the CW app. And I'm like, okay,
yeah. So they know the problem.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
gonna have to put that on YouTube a bit. It's like, well, if you construct better shows, I would.
But if you see, you know, I don't know who the showrunner is or anything, but if you see that
Rob Thomas,
is he still the showrunner?
Obviously not Matchbox 20. Rob Thomas.
Well, I meant he was eaten by zombies. No, I didn't know if it was like a Joss Whedon thing where it was just like created by now.
Honestly,
had a different showrunner.
Honestly, I just know Rob Thomas is one of them. But hey, that's someone to talk to,
right? But if he sees that there's a problem where he's getting more views on Netflix than he is when it's live, maybe he needs to work out a deal with Netflix. You know, if Netflix can get Sabrina, which is a spinoff from a CW show, then obviously there's somebody who's holding hands between the two companies. You know, join that circle.
Okay, let me ask you this about the episode. One last thing on the iZombie. Mm-hmm. How much of a plot line is the brain eating? It's a classic A plot kind of.
This one was more about just establishing the new universe. The brain eating thing, I think she only has like 2 flashes in the whole thing. So they didn't emphasize that as much as in the past. But
Because the thing is, like the first season was, like your CSI type show where they're
Right.
solving crimes, and this just happened to be a way they solve crime, and that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But towards the third season, it's just like, okay, how hokey is this?
This one had the hokiness as far as her taking on the personality of the person's brain, because he was a Seattle Seahawks fan, he was anti-zombie, and yeah, she did kind of go. I mean, say what you will for the actress there, she did a great job going overboard.
Oh, she does wonderful jobs.
Yeah.
Rose is wonderful when she does it. It's just
but it was very overboard
as just a plot line. It's kind of running its course.
Yeah. So
and if you remember the first season when they did it, I think it's running its course on very niche type people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, how crazy can we get Rose to act? Because the first season, if you remember, for the most part, it was relatively normal people.
Right, yeah. Seattle is out of normal brains.
It apparently is. Yeah. So I think I started really noticing towards the end of the second, it's like, do we have to get like these really, really crazy people?
Yeah, because it's getting to the point where, especially before they knew about the zombie outbreak, where if you have somebody working with the police that's acting as crazy as Liv was...
Yeah.
Somebody's
on a apparent week to week basis.
Yeah, somebody's going to catch on to that,
right?
And she's not going to have a job anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we don't go to zombie shows for realism.
No, no.
Another show we don't go to for realism,
and
by we I mean me, is Legends of Tomorrow. So this one I will actually read the synopsis of.
Yes.
The episode was called "The Curse of the Earth Totem," because now we're trying to find all 6 totems. Got to catch them all. While Sarah takes some private time, the legends follow a lead on the whereabouts of the Earth Totem and find themselves in 1717 on the hunt for Blackbeard's treasure. This is why I watched this show. I love the Constantine episode. I wish that we could have more of him. But now, between this episode and the week before, we're back to the normal time travel tomfoolery. I'm watching this for pure entertainment value and being entertained for the full 45 minutes. So, good on you, Legends, but I still perfectly understand why it's not at the top of most people's list.
But, hey, that entertainment factor is very important.
Yes, yeah. And it is one of those where, especially last season and then this season, I think people should watch it, at least give it a try on Netflix. Mm-hmm. The first season was more serious than the subsequent ones.
It tried to be more like the Arrow flashes.
Right. Yeah.
I think, I don't know who, but I don't know what point, but I think they obviously did find their niche and they're running with it.
Oh, yeah.
But unlike, say, unlike, say, the iZombie, it doesn't, from what you describe and what I read about it, it doesn't feel as contrived and old yet.
No.
It's just, obviously I'm not watching it. But,
right.
But it's like, hey, but it's obviously doing well for you, so.
Well, what they're doing is they're taking these huge tropes. Like last week, one of the characters got caught in a time loop she had to get out of. Yep. This week, they went to, find a treasure Blackbeard had buried. So they're finding these sci-fi and fantasy tropes.
Yeah.
And taking their characters and putting them in it. And seeing, okay, how would the Legends deal with this?
Well, I think, to draw comparisons to the most famous time travel show, it is with the Doctor.
Yeah.
It is fun to, make his own stories, of course, with his own kind of universe of characters like the Daleks and the Cybermen.
Right.
But then there are episodes like, hey, how would the Doctor be around Robin Hood?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I get that notion. It's just, maybe it's just some of the characters on the show.
But we do officially have Wally back.
I did see that clip.
And I've got to rewatch this episode, or at least this particular scene.
Right.
Because when, I keep wanting to call him Rory, because he played Rory in Doctor Who.
And it's funny because I keep calling him Rip Hunter.
Well,
when I refer to Arthur Darvill, I guess because the first thing I know.
So we get him in the different fandoms. So Arthur, yes, is talking to Wally.
Mr. Darvill.
Yeah, Mr. Darvill is talking to Wally at this Buddhist temple.
Yeah,
and Wally is talking about how well Barry and Cisco and your boy, Caitlin, but also
Elongated Man.
No, he doesn't. He's not familiar with him.
Tom Cavanaugh.
Yes, I can't think of his.
Harrison.
Thank you. But he's talking about those 4 characters.
Wow, you really.
Oh, I know.
And I thought I was out of the show.
Yeah. So he's talking about those 4 characters in particular, and he goes, maybe I didn't fit in, and he kind of motions around his face, implying his skin color. So I've got to rewatch it and make sure I didn't miss-see, or because he doesn't mention Iris or, her dad. So
Their dad?
Their dad. Yeah, their dad. I haven't seen a couple episodes now, so...
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of them, but I still don't.
Right. But he makes a motion that makes me think he's referring to race. And
okay, yeah, well, I didn't get that. I just kind of thought that was a jab at what we keep talking about. They obviously have found no use.
Yeah, and it could have been just a very slight hand gesture that I made into more than what it actually is. But
I thought it was what we keep. That's one of the moments I was like, yes, they're listening to us. Yeah. I thought it was a jab at, how we really keep saying, oh, the writers clearly can find nothing to do with Wally.
Right.
But these writers.
Yeah. So.
Now, they start jipping him like no, it's like, okay, clearly none of you read post-Barry comic books.
Right.
Because, hate to tell you, there's a plethora of stuff you could do with Wally.
Oh, yeah.
Even though that one in the comics was a different color than our Wally, but even then, now there's 2 different Wallies. So you have no excuse of finding material for Wally.
It exists
Any
out
of
there.
Them.
Right, yeah. So, but out of the CW world and into space.
By the way, for those interested, there was a new episode of The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I said for those interested.
Yeah. Which we are not.
You are going there today.
Only a little bit.
I am trying to stay true to my new season.
I am the devil's advocate here.
I am trying to stay true to my new season's resolution being, hey, positivity.
Yeah. Well, I just said we were positively not interested. So there we go.
You're going there.
I went there. Okay, but into space.
But I'm going here.
Discovery is not in space for who knows however long. So at least we still have S.H.I.E.L.D.
Are you bitter that we have no Discovery?
I am bitter.
Wow.
The way it ended, I was like, I want more now. You
can't have more now. You have more later, which apparently is really later.
Really later.
Really later.
Like next year later.
So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They are back with Season 5, Episode 11, All the Comforts of Home. Coulson and his team are out to rewrite the fate of humanity, but they are unaware how the changes will affect one S.H.I.E.L.D. agent's life.
Yes.
First,
that's a very basic synopsis.
Well, kudos to the ABC Marvel, because unlike CW, they keep things very close to the chest.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Because had I not seen the episode, I would have no clue.
Well, this synopsis has been here for the longest time.
Yeah.
I think the synopsis was out when they went away for the month break for the Olympics. But obviously they're like, well, this is what it's about.
Yeah, and it is.
It is. We're not lying. We're just, if you're looking for more detail, you have to watch it. And that's what we did. First off, so this week's episode introduces the new character Ruby.
Yes, played by Dove Cameron.
Dove Cameron, the wonderfully Barbie-looking Dove Cameron. And I do not mean that as an insult. But she is. She looks like
she is Barbie-esque.
She's Barbie-esque, and that's just wonderful. And but obviously, from the moment they said Dove Cameron's in the show, there's been a mystery of who she's playing. And even when they revealed who she's playing, again, ABC Marvel, close to the chest, it's like, well, she is playing Ruby. She is playing the daughter of, General Hale.
Yeah, I was about to say not Talbot.
No, I was about to call her by her real name. She is playing the daughter of General. We're not lying.
Right, yeah. Her name is Ruby. You can make of that whatever you want.
Yeah. But, and then we see, she has a fascination with Quake.
Yes, posters up in her
wall. But not just Quake, so she's not like that. She has David Bowie, she listens to music.
Right.
It looks like a regular teenage girl's bedroom.
But it does have the Quake is my hero
poster.
Yes,
but at least it's not covered in Quake. So, you're not alarmed at first. You're like, oh,
Right.
well, sure.
And it does, and this is intricate here, or this is important. The fact that it looks like a normal bedroom.
Yeah.
Becomes very important by the end of the episode.
It does, because, when I first watched it, it's like, oh, cool. All right, well, there's Doug Cameron, and there's a teenage girl. Oh, she's having arguments with her mom.
Yep.
Talking about not going to class. Okay.
I'm sure she'll be important in future episodes.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the introduction, but now to the important stuff. So S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are back.
Yep.
And they are in the lighthouse, but not in space or the future.
Right.
Right here on Earth. Present day Earth.
Right, as far as we can tell. I could see ABC twisting that somehow, so I'm kind of looking for clues to make sure they're in present time.
Oh, or the present time that they left from.
Right, yeah.
Very, very good note. Yeah. But I like to think they are, until they prove me wrong. First thing that caught my eye was the hologram, because this bunker of the lighthouse obviously hasn't seen the light of day in a very long time.
Since at least the 60s or 70s.
And I remember reading the synopsis, because again, this synopsis with the cast has been out for a long time. So in that, I saw names like Patrick Warburton playing General Stone. Yeah. Stoner or something.
Stoner.
And I'm like, oh, cool, Patrick Warburton's in it. Did not expect the way they used Patrick Warburton.
Well, I like how they did that, because he's an actor. I love him as a comedic actor.
Yes.
Loved him as Tick.
Yes.
I cannot take him serious, though, in anything. So the fact that he was a hologram who was kind of comical, perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But that's a question I'd love to sit down with him and basically ask him a taboo question. Seriously, how much money do you make? Because you voice a lot of stuff, and I'm sure they're very good paychecks.
He makes all the money, I'm sure.
I can't imagine this guy is.
He deserves to make all the money.
Oh, totally. I just can't imagine him not making a certain amount, because look at his all resume, not just live action or animation. Look at his all resume. But besides that, just that guy amazes me.
Yeah.
And I love how his voice acting, he can just talk. A lot of other people, to their credit, are amazing with coming up with different voices, but you hire Patrick Warburton because of Patrick Warburton.
That's who you're getting, yeah.
Exactly. But, as we see through Patrick Warburton's hologram, they are here on Earth, and there is another Chromacon there to greet them, played by Joel David Moore. I was like, oh my goodness, hey, I've met you before. You're a cool guy.
So now we've had Enoch, and now we have Noah. I sense a biblical theme with the alien names.
So,
I should have opened this before we started recording.
Oh yeah.
This noise has been brought to you by Debbie Cakes.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
It is a St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Swiss roll that's supposed to taste like mint.
What does it?
Well, to ensure that we never get sponsored by Debbie Cakes, it tastes like chemicals and mint.
Oh.
With sugar, though.
But you're eating it.
That's the with sugar part.
Oh.
Yeah, and also I bought the box. I'm not throwing them away.
You don't want to give it to Little Beard?
Have you seen her when she's had too much sugar?
I have not.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So, they're sent on a mission straight off the bat because, well, what is this show if they don't go on missions?
But not everybody's going.
Not everybody's going. Quake does not want to go, much like she did not want to return to her, her regular point in time, because she believes that if she does anything from this point out, destruction of the world. But not a bad assumption.
Right, yeah.
If everybody in the future that you just witnessed of the earth crumble told you're responsible.
Yeah.
You would think, well...
Because we're talking literally everybody told her that.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's like, okay, I hear you. And if anything, everybody else should have heard her, because she's like, hey, I'm trying to be proactive in this solution here. But, so she's doing her best to not be involved. But here's where going back to reading a synopsis early makes sense now.
Okay.
So they go on the mission to find... So the rest of the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are going on a mission to find this beacon of light that they think is coming down on Earth. It's actually coming from Earth, calling the Kree shout out to the machine that Hive used. Setting up 100th episode.
Yep.
So Quake stays behind,
Mhm.
but she gets a blip of someone who has also joined them on their excursion.
Yep.
So when I first read this synopsis, I saw, first and foremost, beyond the main cast members, I saw Jeff Ward as Deke. And I'm like, oh, is it like a flashback to before he exploded and died? No.
Nope. He is on Earth.
He is on Earth, and I gotta tell you, I'm starting to like Deke more and
Yes,
more.
yeah.
Because, like, credit to that actor, credit to the way they wrote it, credit to the way they shot it. But the glee in his face.
I believe this was the first time he's been on Earth.
I fully believe that's the first time he's had anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
To the distaste of what real beer tastes like.
Yeah.
To Zima.
Right.
To cheeseburgers and onion rings.
The stuff we take for granted.
Yeah. Just the look on his face when he bit into that cheeseburger. I'm thinking, you know what?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've made a face like that biting into food.
I know. So it just I loved his reaction so much. And just regular TV. Like watching literally anything.
A commercial for steak.
Right? And how he was telling, like, when he did get arrested, obviously, because he was trying to pay for the stuff, and, well, he has no money.
Right.
So
and he tried to escape by running into a pool table.
And obviously they arrest him.
And he's a great slapstick comic in that.
He is. I love when Quake had to bust him out. But he should try to do it the right way. By posing as, like, a legal person.
One quick side note with that. I was kind of curious when, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Quake knows that these aliens are aliens, right? Like Noah and Enoch.
Yeah.
So, does she know, though, that they're wearing a human skin, that they're wearing a fake skin?
I don't think so.
Okay, because when she says, "I need your clothes," for a second, I thought he was going to shed the entire thing, just out of confusion. Because to him, the entire thing would be his clothes. And I was curious on if that was going to happen, but we see she just gets the suit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And makes it very fashionable.
Yeah. She wears that suit better than he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I just love his lines, like, I mean, have you been here? Have you had gummy bears?
Right, yeah.
Just the look of glee on his face. I was like, oh, Deke.
I would love to be like that.
And it also explains more, because as Marvel keeps things close to their chest, I'm sure there is a guideline for their actors of what you can post on social media when we're shooting. Right. Which is not much.
No.
Basically, you can post the lunch hour. However, when the most social person of the group, being Chloe Bennett, in the past she's posted a lot of lunch hours and whatnot, Instagram stories, videos, posts, whatever. Right. Jeff Ward is in them. So I'm thinking, why are you posting old photos? Right. Because you guys are out now of the future space. Yeah. And then definitely seeing the last scene of Deke before this episode, it's like, is he just visiting? Right. Is he just hanging out? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you can be friends with whoever you want.
Yes. But now it makes more sense. Right. You're still in the show.
Very much so.
Yes.
Yeah, because he gets to come back to the lighthouse.
Yes. But no Kree, no bad stuff.
Nope.
Let's see, what else? Oh, obviously the S.H.I.E.L.D. the A-Teams. Yeah. S.H.I.E.L.D. A-Teams mission. Yeah. So they find where the beacon is, and they're greeted by an old friend.
Yes.
Yes, Agent Piper.
Yes, who got her name, was it beginning of season 4 or the end of season 3? Because she just seemed like a random person.
I think she was random.
But May gave her a name, or called her a name in that episode, and we just kind of thought of it just as some weird thing. It's like, why would you give this random agent a name?
Well, I remember she definitely was She was the only female. Remember in season 3 when you saw that, Coulson and Mac were doing their thing, everybody else was doing their thing in that, and May was obviously training the new batch of soldiers.
Right.
I definitely remember her being the only female.
Right.
And then subsequently she just showed up because like, well, why not?
Right.
And then when they were doing the Hive stuff, she got more, as she said in the episode, she got more of a relevant role.
Yeah, there were a lot of meta things within this episode that I enjoyed. Yeah.
But, she was explaining how she got there, blah, blah, blah. And me just liking that she's there. I was like, yay, Agent Piper!
Right.
Oh, Agent Piper!
Right.
She sold him out!
A 1-timing, 2-timing, 3-timing soldier?
So explain what I meant by going, oh, Agent Piper.
So we find out that Piper, quote unquote, found, in big air quotes, the Kree signaler, the Kree caller.
Yes.
Yeah. And that
she didn't want to mess with it
because she doesn't do science. Yeah. And she was very specific on not doing science. So when Fitz finds a part in there that shouldn't be in there, he rips it out, says that it was put in there, it was man-made, it was put in there by hand. Sloppily. And she gets, I don't know if it was just, a character choice if it was written this way, but she actually seemed offended by Fitz saying that. And she's like, I told you, I don't do science.
She draws her weapon on him.
Yes.
And you're like, what? And it turns out that...
she has handed them over to Ada. Oh, wait, that's not Ada. I wanted it so badly to be Ada.
Well, in some ways, I found it to be just as good.
Well, yeah.
Well, future episodes will determine if that actually is real.
That's true, yeah.
But so the signal was not really a signal. It was just a decoy.
Right. It was to signal the agents.
Yeah, not the Kree.
Yeah.
But if they come, don't blame the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents.
Right, yeah.
But it was used to call upon them because she sold them out to the government. But basically saying, hey, well, they just want to capture you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I am also most wanted.
Yeah.
They use most wanted, I think, about 4 or 5 times in here. It's like, okay, we know the show didn't make it.
Yeah, you want to punch it in.
You just rub it in our face there.
Just put them back on the show in some way, and we'll call it even.
Yeah, there you go.
Remind me, that's definitely about the show, because the producer did say there's something at the end.
Okay.
So remind me at the end to bring that up. But they're captured by a masked lady assassin looking thing.
Yes, who has a robot army.
Yes. So obviously those are friendly people.
And that's why I thought it was Ada, though, because she had a robot army. So it would have made sense.
So obviously when you have people like that, locked and loaded, guns ready to aim at you, they obviously just want to capture you.
Obviously, That's a no-kill thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong, Agent Piper.
Right.
So Mac is the first to find out that these army men are not men, they're robots. So he says, it's okay, we can really hurt them now.
And I think he says, aim for their face or something.
So it's just like...
Mac don't care at this point. Mac is the honey badger of the team.
I do love his line when they first arrive back to the present timeline. And they're like, I think we're back home. He's like, I'll believe it when I have a double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Deke had the double cheeseburger.
Yeah. Mac is the most human of... all S.H.I.E.L.D. agents.
Well, beyond season, I think it was towards the middle of season 3 that Mac just became us.
Yeah.
Mac truly just became us with these people.
If a real person became a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, here's how he would act.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saying these things and whatnot.
Yeah.
So Mac is about to get horribly hurt because they have managed to take down most of the robot men, but the alpha female assassin person holds back and then draws her weapon, which... Have you seen Black Panther yet?
No, but I related this weapon to Xena.
Okay.
Actually, because Xena had a circular blade that appears to have boomerang type qualities.
Apparently. But and I'm not saying Xena's the only one or Black Panther is the only one that showed it, because I've seen many video games that do it.
Yeah.
But most recently Marvel, it's like, didn't some Wakandan warriors have this circular... Is this recycled? That's okay. I mean, hey, if you... be green.
Right, yeah.
But this assassin launches her circular bladed weapon at Mac. Yo-Yo sees it and intercepts it.
Yeah. I mean, that is one way to word that.
At first I didn't know what happened. I thought that she, well, you know, I mean, very few things have shocked me.
Yeah. I thought she got, like, minorly injured.
I went the opposite. I was like, she didn't behead Yo-Yo.
Oh, wow.
That's where I went.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know,
yeah.
blade going high, high velocity, person in the way. Many horror movies would tell you, beheading.
So they literally met in the middle of our assumptions.
Yes. But they warned us.
Yeah.
Because as the previous episode, we saw a armless Yo-Yo, and we're like, oh my goodness, that Cassius is a monster.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's not Cassius.
No,
yeah.
That happened. Wow.
Yeah.
Both her arms are gone. I did not expect that to happen so soon.
And the way,
or at all, really.
The way they depicted it, I forgot I was watching ABC for a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that's a little gruesome.
That was a little graphic.
Yeah.
So I didn't. Well, up until like the very moment when the camera reveals that both her arms have been chopped off, I almost forgot the whole future Yo-Yo thing.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my goodness, they're not pulling punches."
They're like, "We literally told you this was going to happen, and you didn't believe us."
I'm sure in her head, if she could see like her young self or her other self, is like, "Hey, did you not see me?
Right, you were warned.
You were warned by me. Like,
why wouldn't you avoid blades for the rest of your life?"
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But. I kind of wonder how that happened, because as we saw before, when they were about to attack, you know, she did her Yo-Yo powers and took all the guns from the armed men.
Right.
And I can't imagine like the blade went too fast for her.
Right.
I maybe it's too gruesome, and maybe it also costs a lot of money. I'd like to see like, what did you do?
Yeah, let's see a slow motion.
Because, well, you know, hey. Too fast to react, whatever. But I want to see, like, did you try to, like, catch it, or did you not get there in time? Right. Because if you tried to catch it, maybe your hands would be off. But
maybe the assassin has some sort of powers we don't know about yet, and was able to see where Yo-Yo was going.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we don't know yet.
Right.
But nonetheless, like, it was a very specific place for her arms to be chopped off.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I'm thinking, did she also, like, go too fast, and then she mistimed it horribly?
Right.
But the assassin gets away. They retreat. They still take Agent Piper because they're like, "Oh, you dummy, we'll still take you."
Yeah, if for no other reason, keep an eye on her.
That's true.
You betrayed us once. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
I thought she was about to eat it there, but no. Agent Piper lives to see another day.
So no, we gave you a name. Let's keep you around for a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, you're no longer just Agent Number 5. Yeah.
So everybody meets back at the lighthouse. Simmons stitches up Yo-Yo.
Yep.
And, you know, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are retreating for now, waiting to fight another day.
And I was disappointed. They didn't do the typical tropey, let's do a close-up on the the EKG machine showing the heartbeat and all that while the surgery is going on, because it was all very slow motion Grey's Anatomy sort of thing, and I'm watching it like, all right, come on, let's move it along here.
But the big reveal. So we also, you know, we see the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents return home, surgery done, you know, regrouping. Oh man, I'm so glad to see you type thing, and you know, oh Mac, I'm so sorry. You know, all worthless, no dialogue right now. But you feel in their face. But also in this montage, you see the assassin walking in the government halls that we saw earlier.
Yes.
You're like, okay, well, clearly this person
makes sense.
I mean, Agent Piper sold them out to the government.
And the government is against S.H.I.E.L.D. It all connects.
What didn't connect was we see General Hale in Ruby's room.
Yep.
And in walks in and is the assassin.
Yep.
And the assassin is Ruby.
Yes.
And then you're like...
In that very slow reveal that only Marvel can do.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, that's why you didn't want to tell us who she is.
Yeah.
But she's still... because the beginning of the episode, she asked her mother. And I'm kind of wondering the term mother now.
Yeah.
She asked her
a literal thing.
Yeah. She asked her mother, are you a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it was a great dialogue. He's like, you know, S.H.I.E.L.D. was seen as a good guy, and now they're not. You're wanting to hunt S.H.I.E.L.D. So is S.H.I.E.L.D. now the bad guy, or you're the bad guy?
Right.
I'm like, ooh, very, very good.
They're getting philosophical
here. Yeah.
Because even as fans, it kind of makes you question, it's like, is S.H.I.E.L.D. the good guy?
Yeah. So now you're like, well, wait, young lady, why did you ask that question?
Mhm.
You just tried to kill S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
And even in that, she was angry because she was promised Quake.
Right.
You
Yeah.
promised
Quake
me
wasn't there.
Quake wasn't there.
And she wanted to fangirl out.
Yeah.
And wasn't allowed.
Or I'm scared of what fangirling out means to her.
That's true, yeah.
Because
fangirling could be murder.
She cut Yo-Yo's arm off on purpose, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, as far as we know.
Yeah. Because it cripples them and, makes them, it could possibly draw them out of hiding.
Yeah.
I mean, for their perspective, yeah, good plan.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it does make you wonder, what are you going to do with Daisy?
Yeah. Are you going to lock her up and keep her as a pet? Are you just going to straight up kill her?
I thought, because, at the beginning of the episode, you're like, oh, yay, she's going to take a selfie with her.
Right, because
that's what I would
she's
do.
playing, like, typical angsty teen type character.
That's what I'm going to do with Chloe Bennett when I see her. So that's interesting. And, of course, they can't tell us anything else? Of course not.
No.
However, the post-credit sequence.
Well, before the post-credit sequence, we learned something about Ruby's room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a typical...
Well, it is.
Inside. Yeah. Behind a regular closed door, and then behind a steel door with guards around it.
So her room is in this government facility.
Yeah, so she's a prisoner, as far as we can tell.
And that's another reason why I wonder about the term mother.
Right.
I mean, mother and daughter can be loose things now.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So again, Marvel, ABC, they did not lie to us.
Nope. No, if she raised Ruby, Ruby would call her mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, that's the thing. They never lie to us. They're just cagey on, well, we're not going to give you all the details.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that's what you assumed it meant? Yeah, no, we never said that.
Yeah, we didn't say that.
Yeah.
But the post-credit sequence, so, we see an old friend and meeting with General Hale.
Yep.
It's the absorbing man, Mr. Creel.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, look, I don't feel like doing this for the government anymore. I want to be your hired gun. Well, I don't want a hired gun.
Yeah.
I want to build a team.
Right.
So we get
a suicide squad of sorts.
They'll probably be better than the movie.
Yeah. I hope.
Well, if anything.
But that's exactly what I thought of there during that scene. It was like, are you starting a Marvel Suicide Squad?
Against the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
for it.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I will say, because of me, I do look at future synopses. I have not seen Brian Patrick Wade, the man who plays Absorbing Man's name in them. So when we'll have this Nega S.H.I.E.L.D. team, Nega S.H.I.E.L.D. team, don't know, but be interesting. And next week is the 100th episode, so it's going to be a lot of callbacks to many things.
Yes, which in their preview for the next episode basically says that. And I do like that as much as Marvel and ABC hold back, they are telling you, we're going to go balls to the wall for this 100th episode.
The one thing I hope, because during last year's crossover with CW, the Arrow episode was the 100th episode.
Right.
And it didn't do anything for the show or the crossover. It was just pure, hey, obviously, if you watch Arrow, you're going to love everything.
Yeah.
I hope for S.H.I.E.L.D.'s 100th episode, it at least advances certain plot.
Right, yeah.
Not that I wouldn't love every callback they're doing.
But don't just have a clip show.
Yeah. Obviously, if Blair Underwood somehow returns as Lash, and Brett Dalton comes back as Hive, I will love it. But I hope, this 100 episode, while being a celebration of the fact that you got to do 100 episodes, celebration of the whole show in general, I hope, don't just be a clip show. Just, I hope you advance the plot.
Because either Lash and or Hive will not be a flashback sort of thing, because May says it can't be him.
Yeah.
We don't know which him. We assume by the way they edit the trailer that it's going to be Lash.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Again, they're not CW.
Right.
So they're saying, well, you wait and watch it.
Yeah. My favorite thing that stood out this episode was the most meta quote I've ever heard on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
What was that?
It was when Agent May is being told that they are now the most wanted, and or they're being looked for. They weren't using most wanted yet in that, I don't think. but they were still well known. They were still people looking for them. And she says, "Our fan base is small but active." And I was like, "That is perfect. That is perfection in writing right there, because it is so true."
That is very true.
Yeah.
I think I just couldn't get over Deke.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I got hungry, but I wasn't that hungry, and just very appreciative of what we have in this timeline.
Yeah, and he just pounding Zimas and yeah.
I hope we get some good Deke.
I'm sure we will. Yeah.
And if you're listening, that could have sounded a very different way, but we're not going to go there.
Enunciating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did. Last thing about S.H.I.E.L.D., and this pertains to S.H.I.E.L.D. in general. This week, the producers, writers, the head honchos, basically said, the finale that they've written can serve as a finale.
Right.
Now, whether that means anything.
Right, yeah.
But obviously, from each finale S.H.I.E.L.D. has done, it was a finale to the story. They did hint at other things.
Exactly, yeah.
This doesn't sound like one of those.
No.
So they're, in a way, kind of preemptively preparing for
maybe the end.
How do you feel about that?
I feel that any show that knows it's going to end and has the time to write the rest of the story out, in my experience, has been well done. It has been enjoyable. You take something even as far back as dinosaurs. So that story had a beginning, middle, and obviously shorter less episodes than
not by much. Not by much.
Yeah.
I think they lasted 4 seasons.
Yeah, but just shorter seasons.
Yeah.
So when it ended. It literally went out with a bang.
Yep.
Yeah. Spoilers for people who've never seen dinosaurs.
Okay, for those people who want to know what we're talking about, do you know what happened to the dinosaurs in real life? Not that much different.
Yeah.
There you go.
Except they were watching it on TV in the show. So, and it's stuff like that, and stuff like Alf and things like that. And even if I don't necessarily agree with the way a show ends, just the fact that it has a solid ending and doesn't leave us in the Firefly paradox of what could have been, what could have happened. Yeah.
So I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And plus 5 wonderful seasons.
Yeah.
How much? I mean, I thought of it last night because while it's a little different, this show didn't get an ending. But if you have just quality set of episodes, because let's take Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Family Guy is in its 14th season? Something
ridiculous, yeah.
I don't even watch it that much anymore.
No.
Cleveland Show had only 4 seasons. I still watch the Cleveland Show a lot.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter the quantity of episodes as long as you got a good amount of solid ones.
Yeah.
And if S.H.I.E.L.D. ends it at season 5.
Yeah. Because you don't want to just wear it into the ground. And I like the way they're doing some of the characters. Like Coulson, we already know Mac's tired of it.
Yeah.
Coulson is not acting like Coulson used to. No. So
not even close to season 1 Coulson.
Yeah.
Not even close to season 2 Coulson.
No.
Definitely not Avengers Coulson.
No.
If anything, he's tired too.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to retire.
Yeah. So we're okay. He wants to take May out on his car and just drive off.
Right, drive off into the sunset.
Yep.
Or fly off into the sunset.
Both. He could do both.
Yeah.
I'm sure that car is also a boat.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either.
But until then, we have to wait and see.
Yep. Until next week.